Feelings of imposterism aren't restricted to highly skilled individuals. However, people who are highly skilled or accomplished tend to think others are just as skilled. These feelings create self doubt, and you begin to think, well, maybe I don't necessarily deserve these rewards or accomplishments as much as someone else does. I had to understand that everyone doubts themselves, but believe we're alone in thinking this way because no one expresses their self doubts. So you graduated college, received your diploma, all things they say should bring great success, yet there's still feeling of self-doubt when stepping into new things that you highly deserve and you're more than capable of completing or achieving, but there's something holding you back. Personally, I have experienced imposterism, and this is my first time experiencing this type of feeling due to being in a new environment, having a lot more responsibilities that I've had in the past. I recently graduated from college. It's been a year now, and I've been also working in the workplace for a year now. And I've experienced imposterism. My first encounter with these sort of feelings, and I felt that it was necessary to share this information with people because I feel as though there are many people that can relate to this, yet don't necessarily know what to call it, right? How do I pinpoint these emotions and validate that they're real? I want you to know that imposterism aren't restricted to just highly skilled individuals. However, people who are highly skilled or extremely accomplished have received many accolades in the past. They tend to group themselves with other skilled people and feel as though their accolades or accomplishments weren't necessarily deserving. I had to understand that everyone doubts themselves in private. Like behind closed doors, everyone doubts themselves. And it's just something that we kind of just have to deal with. You know, we're never going to know what people say behind closed doors. We're never going to know how hard something actually is for someone. Um, and that is simply just because we don't openly communicate things that we're not well in or things that we're not good at. You know, we don't necessarily communicate those things unless we're speaking with people that we're extremely comfortable with. But if we take it back to the workplace and the work setting and we apply it in the work setting, am I going to sit up in a conference room filled with professionals and say, oh, I don't think that I can take on leading this project because I don't think that I can do it? Like, that's just not going to happen, right? Like, in the real world, it's just not going to happen. And so, you know, we tend to just like persevere and push through, but really and truly, like, we're thinking whether or not we can do it. And so I think because we don't openly communicate those things, we don't openly communicate the things that we're not well in, um, it's easy to not dismiss imposterism, right? For people that are actually experiencing it, it's easy for them to not know where someone actually is because it's just not openly communicated. And so, long story short, you are capable, have the conversation, and know that your perspective matters. Recently, I applied for a pro bono opportunity, which essentially means all the work that I complete for an external organization is completely free, so there's no compensation involved. So it's essentially considered volunteer work. However, it's specific to your work industry and your skill set that you bring. I applied for a position, a program manager position, which essentially meant that I would oversee a lot of the operations for the project, made sure that we were on track with project timelines and managing the fine details of the work. So going into the application process, I was very excited. You know, I thought it would be a nice opportunity, something to be a part of, especially considering we're in the virtual world. Just still wanting to be very connected with my external organizations. And I felt as though this was the perfect opportunity. So once I applied, I submitted my application. A few days after, I received notification that I was selected and also appointed the program manager position that I applied for. Now, I was happy, but very nervous, right? I was very nervous, and I literally started to doubt myself, and I started to doubt my capability and whether or not I could do this. And it all goes to show that imposterism is very much so real. You know, it's crazy how you can step into something and feel as though like you can do this, and then you receive it, and then you literally just start to doubt yourself. It's like I said, I applied for the position knowing that the skills that I had was definitely applicable, and I felt that I could succeed and thrive in the position. Yet that is not how I was feeling internally. Like it literally felt unsettling to me, and I literally started to doubt myself. I want you to know that although you may feel uneasy, inadequate, you know, you might feel as though what you're doing, you're not capable of doing it because you're surrounded by so much talented people. You know, you realize that there are so many people out in the workplace, or just people that you surround yourself with, that are just as capable. And you then tend to doubt yourself, and you tend to feel as though you're not good enough, or you cannot contribute or provide, in a sense. I want you to know that you're wrong. One, you're there for a reason. Two, your perspective means everything. And three, you're very much so capable of doing what it is you want to do. Simple, point blank, like simply stated, that is what it is. And I honestly will say that having conversations with people that are also experiencing the same thing, or just having conversations about imposterism with people that I admire, whether it's in my industry or just people that I look up to in general, having those conversations is real. And I definitely think it helps with kind of just like healing from that process and healing from that way of thinking. That has worked for me, and I will definitely encourage, you know, anyone else who's going through the same thing to just have those conversations, fluid conversations like this. Me sharing my story with you guys can possibly initiate other conversations for you to share amongst your friends or just people that you admire. So thank you guys for joining my channel. I hope you guys subscribe and return for future videos.